Hello, everybody. Welcome, world. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Underlying Perceptions, where we're here to expose the catalyst for personal growth, because that's what it's all about today. And today, I won't be providing my underlying perspective alone, because today, I have a special guest. You know what I'm saying? This person right here, pretty much, gave me my first opportunity to be on a podcast / radio to voice myself and what I stand for, my mission, my purpose in life, my hometown brother. And this is tight because now I'm bringing him in on my show. My brother CeeMo is in the building. What's good, brother?
Man, hey, yo.
Yes, let him know.
Remember that one. What up, CCARIGA? Hey, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate that, man. I really do, man.
Thank you, brother. That. Well, since you here, man, still let people know who CeeMo is.
Man.
Who is CeeMo?
CeeMo, it's coming from a healed place, like CCARIGA's song said. Life hit different when it comes from a healed place. But I'm making sure just to have my voice heard, you know what I'm saying, have my opinion heard, and also talk about what's going on around us when it comes to being in the sea of opinions, man. Of course, if you guys have not watched me and CCARIGA until now, you just seeing CCARIGA's underlying perceptions. Listen, I'm from Mo Media, where no one's got us like us, and you can catch me every single Wednesday, 12 to 1 p.m.
Let's go. Y'all heard him. And Dope Hangouts, fire podcast. So if y'all haven't tuned in, I'm telling you to tune in now. I'm telling you to tune in and go episodes back, because there's nothing but heat and it's eclectic, man. I love where the show is going. So I'm already knowing it's going further. Tell them what Mo Media is.
Thank you, bro.
How did you come up with Mo Media? What was the purpose behind it?
Yeah, Mo Media actually came from the old version of my name, CeeMo. CeeMo is just a mix of my first and last name, Christian Muhammad. So I used to put CMO or CMOE. So when I put CEEMOE, I was like, this is really dope. Like, I want Mo. Like, he would be like, what up, CeeMo? Give me Mo, all that bullshit. I was like, this could probably turn into something. So Mo Media came just for me. I wanted to be a creative platform more than just, an artist writing songs. I wanted to be a creative platform and have a business with other creatives. Yeah, that's where it came from, man. And hey, shout out to you for being the co-host of the first co-host of Dope Hangouts, my man.
You, brother.
Yes, the first co-host, and that means a lot because I was running this thing solo dolo, trying to come up with topics solo dolo, from the room to level 9, back to the room, and then now we're here at Room Service Radio, and CCARIGA's here in Vegas. So it's prospering and it's awesome, man. So thank you for what you do in Dope Hangouts and Mo Media when we have our content, my man.
Thank you, brother.
I miss you.
Man, you know what? And the thing is, it's not a goodbye. It's temporary. It's just a temporary journey. Yeah. And then once that temporary journey comes to its conclusion, then guess what? Another journey still continues. It still builds. So that's what it's all about, brother. So you already know. Thank you. Thank you again, man. I can't thank you enough. And since you're here, just growing up together, and now we're both fathers.
Yeah, bro.
We're both fathers. So, man, how has fatherhood been for you, bro?
Man, man, upside down, in the best way. We know it because we talk about this a lot off camera, y'all. So, fatherhood, man. Fatherhood definitely just made me look at myself more and make sure that I'm a good example. Make sure that my son's comfortable at all times. 1.5-year-old boy. His name's Elijah, and I'm just kind of like have this big pet peeve where I'm like, he's not comfortable. Like, let me try to make him comfortable. Even if he's sleeping, I'm like, oh no, he's sleeping on the mattress. Let me move him onto the pillow, and he wake up, get on that. I'm like, damn, man, I'm sorry. I just want to make sure your neck is good. You know what I'm saying? All that type of stuff it just was brought out of me, man. More of a caretaker. I was honestly super selfish, before my son. And still selfish in the good ways. I'm still selfish in the great productive ways. So yeah, my son brought out the caretaker in me.
Yeah, because you had a song called, I Do Too Well on My Own. It's like, okay, now I got to do well for all of us.
Yeah, exactly. That was it, man. Lone wolf, what I'm saying? Now, got to do well for everybody.
That's real. And speaking of that, man, you have to, how do you maintain a balance with, you got fatherhood, you got Mo Media, you're creative, amongst many other hats that you do, juggle.
Thanks.
How do you keep your balance? How you keep from a hat from falling off?
Yeah, man. Juggling has so you got to make sure one doesn't fall.
Yeah, you don't want that fitted to touch the ground.
If it's close to touching the ground, got to pick it up, stumble, act like nobody saw. Yeah, balancing is not easy, but I think it comes down to just making sure and this is where I come into being like selfish in a productive way. I'm like, look, if I spend too much time on one thing, X, Y, and Z, like I'm gonna miss out on this other thing that I have to do or that I committed myself to. You know what I'm saying? Just like when when I'm doing some video editing, when I'm doing some Photoshop, when I'm practicing Iaido, I have to kind of space that out through my week. That's how I survive it. And then some days I still miss, what I was deadline to do personally. But it says I'm holding myself accountable. You're like, it can get taken care of tomorrow type of thing. But, it's not perfect, but it's a juggle. And I feel like you got to spread it out through your week.
Yes.
Like, let's say Monday, I'm going to be CeeMo from Mo Media. Tuesday, I'm going to be CeeMo the rapper. Wednesday, I'm going to be CeeMo the Black Samurai.
Black Bushido.
Yeah. And some people kind of take it into a fact where you bundle up everything together and you're like, oh my God, I got so much to do. You get overwhelmed. I've done that a couple times. And yeah, we shouldn't get overwhelmed about it. Take it literally, it has to be literally a day at a time, as cliche as it sounds.
Yeah, no, real talk. And with all that, it sounds like you deal with a little mist of burnout, a little bit of compassion fatigue. I mean, how does that play a role in your mental health?
Yeah, great question, man. Oh man, what's crazy? I had my baby. He's a COVID baby. He doesn't have COVID, but he's April 2020. Sometimes I say COVID baby, people are like, "What? Your baby has COVID?" I'm like, "No, man."
He was just born in the midst of the pandemic.
Yeah. We was at the hospital. Well, actually, I guess the 2 weeks before, she was due. Elijah actually came 2 weeks early for the record, so not too far off. But a few weeks before we even planned to go to the hospital, it was just like, oh shit, like, all right, baby could come at any time, realistically. The baby could come at any time, the water could break anytime. I was like, oh shit, it's about to happen. Like, I'm about to be holding this little human in my hand. We went to the hospital, stuck there for 4 or 5 days. No, 4 days, bro. Stuck there for 4 days because we got there early, and Elijah's mom, Pertella, has asthma. Was really worried about it. Went there early, and they're like, well, we're gonna have to induce you. And she'll tell you this too, she had to get a C-section at the end, and that's why we stayed there the extra couple days. And just that first part messed with my mental health, because I was like, damn, man, one, you gotta sleep in an uncomfortable chair. Two, during COVID, if I leave, I can't come back and witness the birth of my son. So that really played a role in me. I was like, damn, like, even if I step outside the building for fresh air, I'm scared they'll say no, we can't come back in. I was scared to step out the sliding doors because I just couldn't take being in that one room for so long. And then during COVID was a trip, because I went back to work after 1 month. So I was like, man, I gotta keep working. I gotta make sure this nest egg like still builds, but I want to be a creative, and I hate my 9 to 5 right now, but I gotta take care of my son. So yeah, it played a big role. And I think like just now I'm still like, barely recovering from the anxiety and the stress from the lockdown, new dad, leaving the 9 to 5. That was really amazing. Great benefits. Like people say in Vegas, it's the best company you work for in Vegas. I walked away from it all to do the creative thing and be a dad, and I'm still battling it, but it's better than it was.
Yeah,
my mental health,
maintaining it. COVID definitely had an impact on mental health, and that's just a topic that don't really get discussed because everybody's like, quarantine is great. I love to be home. Who doesn't love to be home?
Yeah,
but then it's like sometimes home isn't always home for people, and if your home become like a prison, then it's like too much solitude is going to drive you to depression.
Honestly, you're right. Just being inside your own walls every day, it felt like a day off work, for the first couple of weeks.
Exactly.
And then it's like, what the hell?
For real. And now we got our kids where we're trying to protect them, making sure they don't contract COVID. We don't contact COVID. We have to be also in solitary for the protection of our child. And it's just so much that goes into that, even to those who had lost jobs, not being able to afford where they're staying. And, it was just tough. The stimulus did help out. I'm not going to say it
Shout out to the
didn't.
stimulus.
Yeah, shout out to the stimulus. We couldn't have gotten it, but we received it in a blessing to where we were able to support and provide for our families and ourselves for our basic needs. So, it's just talking about it now. It's crazy because in 2019 feel like back in the day. Like, why does it feel like that?
Away.
Yeah, it's like
normalcy.
I used to be out here with no mask, being able to go to any restaurant with no mask on and eat and talk to people without. And if I coughed, it wasn't even a big deal. Now when you cough, people look at you like you got a weapon. And it's like, these times got people's anxiety, like you mentioned, very high. People's depression is kicking in. There is some PTSD symptoms that do kick into play based off of these stressors and these environmental factors. You know what I'm saying? And, being a creative, balancing fatherhood, all that also takes a toll on us, even with the ones we love and we keep close. Have you felt like that impacted like your relationships in any way during the midst of this COVID?
Oh yeah, it did. Yeah, it sure did, man. As a lot of people.
Yeah,
as a lot of people did. Yeah. Of course, being in anyone's face for too long, you're like, oh my god, like, can I just like have some time, or saying, oh, but on the other side of the house, I'll stay on this side, etc. Oh yeah, it did. But that's where the real challenge came in. I'm saying, can you stick through it, or do you just really? Some people had to really realize, even the celebrities we hear about, some people even had to realize that, like, wow, okay, this person might not be the one for me. I've been married to him for 5 years, but we haven't seen each other at home a lot because of our working. You know what I'm saying? Now we're spending like 2 months together, working from home, and it's like, damn, man, who's this person? Feel like that. But it definitely had a toll. But still. Just moving, still working through it, making sure we're subtle, you know what I'm saying? Yes. So the energy that doesn't rub off on the baby is bad. Yeah, making sure that we're there's another word for it, just calm and everything.
Yeah, because like you say, you're around this person most of the time now that COVID quarantine kicked in, and it's like you get to know more about each other in ways where it's like it leads into conversations need to be held, communication need to be held, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like, with everything being Zoom, everything being through technology, communication has been impaired. I truly believe that. It's just my perception, my underlying perspective on that is that I see technology impairing our communication, our interpersonal connectedness in person, face to face, we talking with a mask on our face now. So when we do that, we don't know the person we're talking to. You know what I'm saying?
We don't know what they really look like.
Yeah, I see your eyes. I know the eyes is the window of the soul, but the smile also speaks volumes too. The nose, it's the body language, the gestures, what happened to that interpersonal connectedness. And when you and from what it sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like if you have that too much with one person and not with the world, or not being able to be an individual, it can impact the relationship a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Definitely being an individual.
Speak about that.
More than anything when you're secluded for that long. You know what I'm saying? I've always been a personable guy anyway, man. I like to go out there, talk, shake hands, run up on somebody, say something random to somebody else to get a conversation going. You know what I'm saying? Or jump in somebody's conversation. If it's something I can relate to, I can add to. Yeah. So just not getting that, and then being at my 9 to 5. It was it's an online retail company. I'm not gonna say the company. It was an online retail company, and since COVID happened, it affected shipping, back orders, XYZ fulfillment centers. So all that was being rained down on as me. I moved to, I was at the company for literally a year, almost a full year. And I got moved on to the social media team. So we still had to interact with customers, but either be through the Facebook DMs, you get customer service through there nowadays, Instagram, Twitter, and then text message support. So if we weren't commenting back on a post about information, or just like a nice silly comment back as part of our main jobs. You know, our secondary job was to tend to customers, and we were like flooded with so much things. Couldn't even do our proper job because they're like, look, like it's all hands on deck now. COVID messed everything up. You got to talk to people, tell people like this is what's going on. This is a world pandemic, and you know, people still didn't understand. People still didn't care as long as they got what they wanted, their merchandise, as long as they're on the phones and making sure that like, oh, I want to buy this, but I'm at home. Where you going? I need to buy stuff. I'm at home, and then you know, it just rained down on us. We got the full brunt of it, and really no appreciation from the company. So then when you're in a relationship, you feel like, damn, I want to get appreciation here. I need to get appreciation. I need to get appreciation elsewhere. And then, you know, you just start to make these false expectations in your head. And when they don't meet them, you're like, what the hell? What the fuck? You know, you start getting into all that types of drama, man.
Yeah. And it's true. You know, that can happen for sure. And like, do you feel like in the midst of the pandemic, and okay, now let's separate from the pandemic now. Now we're just talking about the relational aspect, and this is with friendships, marriages, just relationships, right? Like, do you feel, what are your perspective on boundaries being a topic of discussion? So maybe where it can lead to growth in the relationship. Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts about that?
Boundaries.
Yes.
Should this be like a continuance, like an episode
Come
2?
on, let's do it.
We had the great talk at the baby shower, but now it's just us two.
Yeah. So it's more controlled.
Yeah.
So let me know what you think about that, man.
Yeah. Craig got the good questions today.
Yes, sir.
I wasn't expecting this when I came in here.
Welcome to Underlying Perceptions.
Yeah, this is perfect, man. Yeah, this is perfect because this you know, media, entertainment is the way we got to express ourselves through music, through all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So boundaries. But yeah, okay. So I need you to reiterate on the boundaries more, like personal boundaries, as in you keep checking up on me every 5 minutes, or boundaries as in, hey, I actually need a little bit of space today. Just for like an hour, I just want to do my grown man thing or grown woman thing. You know, if sometimes a girl needs space, I need to do my grown woman thing. I just need to you know, slip into my own head and not worry about, you know, X, Y, and Z. What exactly?
You answered your own question, honestly. Those sounded like boundaries, you know, right there. I would say it's pretty much something that'll help you think of boundaries as a way of, you know, just respecting my time and my space so I can recollect as an individual. And as we was talking about earlier, individuality is necessary in any relationship, you know, in any relationship. And the thing is that when we are in relationships, some people tend to get consumed in the collectivistic part of it and forget that they are still themselves. Yeah. So with that being said, yes, I'm talking about the individual personal boundaries. Okay. You know?
Okay. Yeah. Great question. I know I laugh when I'm nervous, ladies and gentlemen. So
don't be nervous, brother.
Nervous. Because this is a great topic that you know, we don't talk about on dope hangouts. So I'm about to open up to y'all today.
Let's go, brother.
On this episode. The personal boundaries for me. I would say like don't assume, just ask me. 1, don't assume, just ask me. 2 should be like, if I tell you something, you know, verbatim, don't like say it back to me in a totally opposite way that I was coming off, you know. And that's where I feel like it happened during the pandemic with a lot of people, not just me. You kind of misconstrue every other word. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, what are you saying by that? Like, what do you mean by that? Like, I literally just mean what I just said. Like, literally just mean what I just said. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, and as it being personal, let's say social media. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on the couple. If you with somebody for damn near 10 years, and then all of a sudden she sees you liking, you know, random girls' pictures on Instagram, then that's a problem. But if you come fresh into a relationship, and fresh into a relationship is still like a year and a half,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still fresh. Like,
You
really
still
get
may need to know the
person.
person after 5 years.
Yeah.
You know,
Honestly,
it's real.
And you come from like I'm older. I've had a life. I've lived. To me, I've lived a pretty full life. Other than my personal goals and ambitions, I've lived a pretty full life. Just doing anything, traveling, meeting people, getting I don't know, kicked out of venues, being drunk on the strip, all that type of shit. So if I got contacts, friends from my past, not all of them are necessarily people that I've been involved with. So, why assume if I'm liking their pictures, why assume that something's going on, like I'm being thirsty, like this, X, Y, and Z? Why assume that just because your friend told you like, oh, hey girl, your man is liking one of my homegirls' pictures and we're mutual friends on there and he's liking the photos, and then you get an assumption, and then that's crossing a boundary because you haven't actually talked to the person. When you start to assume and make like, what the fuck, this motherfucker's doing some shit behind my back, that to me, that's crossing a boundary in that sense, because you should be talking about boundaries that you have. Hey, I don't like when you like other girls' pictures. That don't cross that boundary. But if you are liking other girls' pictures, you need to, like, I'm gonna ask you who they are. You need to tell me who they are. Don't just listen to a friend and then be like, what the fuck it doing? Hold it in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's in a sense, if we're talking that part, that's another type of boundary. That all depends on the couple.
It all depends on the couple. We all have different boundary sets, and assumptions, they happen. You feel me? And I feel like you said, if there was some communication behind it as to why this happened, how this happened, what was the purpose behind it, I feel like, okay, it'll leave room for discussion to where it's like, okay, now I see that I may have crossed your boundaries. So it's like you got your own set, but then it's like she or he have their own set of boundaries that you also have to respect. And it's like, it's the reciprocity. That's what makes the boundaries, connect, when you have that reciprocity.
Honestly. Now I want you to put me on game, because you've been with wifey for so long. Now, how long did it actually take for you guys to finally speak up and be like, yo, this is my boundary that you crossed and I don't like it, so let's change. Even if you guys, couples go through arguments all the time, but just came back to let's change it, let's understand it. Like, how long did that take? Was there something that like popped up, third, fourth year, or just off the bat?
Honestly, it happens within it happened within the first month, second month, because we're still trying to learn each other. And even after a year, 2 years, still trying to learn each other, it's because it's so much that's about us individually that we haven't fully expressed to our partners. And it's like, that's why we got to update each other all the time. We've been together. It's about to be 12 years together, starting next Thursday, November 18th.
That's beautiful.
5 years married, So with that, as long as that, like, no matter how long we've been together, we still need to update each other. We still need to create that first engagement as if we just saw each other at the doorstep. Like, you got to keep that relationship renewed, and that's what makes your relationship enduring. I grew up with parents that have been in a long relationship, still ongoing, 25 plus years married.
Nice.
So has her parents, and
Congrats,
it's like we grew up seeing Black love lasting compared to in the statistic that we don't usually see households with both parents, So I was like, what is the meaning? What's the purpose behind that? What's the cause behind that? And it goes back to boundaries.
Yeah.
And it goes back to that lack of communication. And then it goes back to the reciprocity.
Because you don't see that anymore.
You don't see that anymore. And with me and wifey, we had to learn each other through these trials and tribulations. And, now that she's in motherhood, I'm in fatherhood. Now there's new boundaries that may come up because we got the little man now. There's things that we do have to do and reciprocate for each other. And it's just because we're in a relationship together doesn't mean that I'm too comfortable to not respect you. And I've learned that over the time too. It's like, okay, I need to hear you out. Yeah. I don't need to talk over you. I need to understand. I don't need to take it personal because I'm hearing some flaws about myself that I didn't want to hear. After a year or two, we're starting to learn each other. 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. As the years going by, we just update each other. We're in this path of mental health, So getting mental health treatment also was a benefit and helped us kind of perceive relationships and communication and individuality more in depth.
Yeah.
And that's why I always ask people when they're in these relationships, like, do y'all discuss y'all boundaries with each other, you know? And me and wifey, you know, just because we're both therapists and we're on this same journey together, it's still something that we also educate each other on too. You know, it's like we need to communicate. We need to update each other. We need to, you know, address a boundary if it needs to be addressed, because
for real.
letting shit just sit there in a pot and it just starts to get burnt and you're like, why the house smell like it's on fire? What's that? It's because, you know, you're not being aware of what you're doing. You're being irresponsible. You're not being accountable when it comes to respecting your partner's boundaries.
Yeah, man. And I want to say, you know, shout out to your parents, man, especially CeeMo's mom. Shout out to you. What was your mom's name again?
LaTanya.
Shout out to Miss LaTanya. Yeah, showing support ever since I walked through the door. And of course, she loves her son so much. She's so proud of you, man. So, thank you. Yes. Thank you for all the support. And shout out to them for showing you the blueprint for a fruitful relationship, because 12 years is a very, very long time. Yeah. Dedication. And I know it wasn't always straight roads. You guys, you know, ups, downs, but still work through it. Got a beautiful baby boy, Kasai.
Yes. And if you say I don't
want to say Shariah's name wrong.
You said it wrong. It's Shariah.
Shariah? Well, I think Shariah, and I'm like, that's wrong.
Yeah, no.
Shariah. Okay, on your Instagram, Shariah, put Shariah and then put the little two sounds right there. Shariah. So everybody knows we all getting it wrong out here.
Yeah.
Shariah, hey, but shout out to you and Shariah.
No, thank you, man. And you know, it just goes back to modeling that behavior. And now that you have a son, and you know, y'all are both parents now. You know, you and Pertell are both parents, and it's like Elijah needs to see that solidarity. Elijah needs to know what it's like to communicate, and he needs to be that behavior needs to be modeled to him, because then when he gets older, like, believe it or not, children are sponges and they absorb things, and the little things they absorb from what they perceive their mom and dad are doing as far as communication, it will manifest in their relationships, in their identity seeking when they're in the teenage, adolescent years, their adulthoods. They're going to find themselves attracted to what all they know a relationship to be. And that's why, like, when you're a parent, there's healthy co-parenting, there's healthy parenting. It's just in the midst of knowing that you do have a seed that's watching you, that whatever you show them nourishes them to grow. You don't want to stop their growth by showing them unhealthy forms of communication. You know, so talking those boundaries out, understanding each other, and then trying to get that vibe right, because children feel the vibe, they feel the tension. That's why babies, they'll cry a lot, they'll get real fussy at certain times of the day. There's certain things you pay attention to where you're like, we got to fix something, we got to communicate, we want our baby to grow up and understand what love is, and you know, that he will always see love to be a powerful thing, something to cherish and not take for granted. So
even if the baby does see the down times, the little petty arguments, I think most important that the baby should see the makeups and more so often being grateful and respecting the other parent, even if, you know, baby understands that the parents aren't together. You know, my mom and dad never got married, but they had two kids. I don't know what that's about. So they never got married, but you know, I talk about this too. They didn't show me that type of relationship that you're supposed to have. You know what I'm saying? I even said on the episode, I was like, when I was 16, my daddy had 3 girlfriends, so I had 3 girlfriends. He didn't really say much except that I'm gonna get caught. Well, now, you know, when I look back at it, I'm like, you should have told me, and I'm gonna make sure to tell my son, like, look, man, what you're doing ain't right. Now, unless like these girls know you ain't official with them, you're just friends. Let them go be happy. Don't break their hearts. Just stop bothering with them. Don't, you know, it ain't right what you're doing. So I think that what you're saying is exactly right when it comes to healthy co-parenting, healthy parenting. You know, your co-parenting is very, 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 like, it's a different spectrum. Co-parenting, it's a different spectrum. So you got to make sure that, like, both parents, when the baby's with one or the other, are like covering each different grounds to cover when it comes to the teaching part of them, and making sure they understand. Both parents have to, and that's my mission as well. My mission is to make sure that I have the world's healthiest. I could be in the Guinness Book of World Records, the world's healthiest like co-parenting situationship, because COVID, to I guess to end to conclude the story, COVID didn't work out like for us. We were like, hey, look, for us not to kill each other, we're gonna have to live in different places. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now what I feel like is it helped. Like some people can fit the stigma of bitter baby mama, baby daddy, and ruin the child and ruin the child's mental health, make the child go through trauma. Like I've seen trauma in my damn life. I've seen horrible shit my dad did to my mom do to my dad. And it like I was like, what the hell is this? Like, this ain't life to live with somebody else. So I'm just gonna be reckless. You know what I'm saying? I'm never gonna stick to somebody. So basically, yeah, I want to have the healthiest co-parenting ever. And like Patella's still my like best friend. Like, we always fucking kicking it. Like, people would think, people who didn't know better, you know what I'm saying, just seeing us off the bat, be like, oh man, they're an amazing couple. And I guess you can call us a couple, because I'm not here trying to date nobody else right now. I'm trying to get to my goals now, because like I said, I've lived life. I'm trying to get to my goals. I'm focused on just making sure my son is fed, my son has his 401k filled up, and I got my finances right, and I got my career right. I want to show him that you could do what you love. Even if you quote unquote don't work the 9 to 5, you can still do what you love and work a 9 to 5 and XYZ. So yeah, so that's the mission, man. The healthiest co-parenting situation in the world.
Yeah, I love what you said, man. And the reason why I say that is because people look down on co-parenting.
Yeah, they think it's a bad
They think it's a
stigma.
bad, they're like, well, if that was going to be the case, then watch who you have sex with. And it's like, it's not that. It's not that. And it's not just that. It's the fact that at one point in time there was a connection there.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. In some cases, it may not have been that way. But co-parenting can definitely be healthy when communication is present.
Yeah.
And that's what it sounds like. That's what's going on. Like, the communication is present, and it's kind of starting back. Like you said, that's my best friend, right? You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, that's what y'all are trying to reestablish, is that friendship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Reestablish. So the friendship thing is there. Like I said, when you're fresh into something, trying to get to know somebody.
Yes.
That's the downfall. And that's what I tell my close people, my close friends, you know what I'm saying? And why not express it in the art? You know what I'm saying? Like it just happened to be something that was, super good spark off the bat. And I still see that in her. I was like, damn, she's independent. She takes care of her mom. Like, she takes care of her mom solo, her single mom. Her dad passed away when she was little. She didn't really get that connection, growing up into, preteen, teen, etc. So I saw all these great traits in her, which she still has. You know what I'm saying? It just got down to many different things. Not communicating, pet peeves, just the way that we live, since we were so used to living alone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So used to living alone. Just those type of regular things that, like, you can give a great lesson to somebody younger. To be like, hey, like, it's okay to take your time. Even if you say you love that person, you truly do. Take your time, slow it down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
really
right.
spend about a year just dating. Don't even jokingly speak about kids and marriage. Don't even do that. Spend the year just having fun. Go do more things together. Yeah, me and Patella did a lot of things together, which helped us grow really quickly, even though we were together for a year before the baby. We did so much things, you know what I'm saying? Shit, it wasn't even a year. It was like, I don't know, 10 months.
Yeah.
Like 10 months, bro. But we did a lot, bro.
Yeah.
We did a lot, and then got really close. I was like, yeah, man. This is gonna work. So now that the baby's involved, you know what I'm saying? It's still gonna work. It's still gonna work, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Granted, she do what she wanna do. Granted, I don't know that. I don't pressure her about that. I just let her know, like, Look, man, like if I ever like wanted to start seeing somebody else like seriously, which ain't gonna happen because nowadays you can't introduce nobody random to your kid. Like what the fuck? Now you got an extra wall up. So
Now you
like
speaking facts. You speaking facts.
that's a sidebar. But yeah, you know, now we would know to communicate because we're not in each other's faces so much. We can easily communicate. We could take a break easy. So
Yeah.
easy to take a break
Yeah.
without being in somebody's face. Because you try to take a break with somebody in the same house, you know how that goes, Chris.
Yeah, it's
It's like, man, rubbing shoulders with me. Watch out. Like,
taking a break is gonna be like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna be out here in the family room. You can have the room, bro. Okay, you know, like. But no, you're right, man. At the end of the day, like, you just gotta go ahead and find that balance with each other, and then come to that common ground. You know, that leads into the discussion, like. Even though it's co-parenting, like there's a sense of compromise that you find important in a relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
In what ways?
Wait, and ask the question
Do
again.
you do you believe in compromise with it, that keeps the relationship going, whether you're co-parenting, you're together or not?
Yeah, because I compromised. I believe in it, and I'm always fair. I don't ever hold this over anyone, over her head. Like I was making sure, you know, the baby was good for the first, I don't know, 2-3 months while she healed, and I was like, yeah, you know, I'll compromise. Like I'll do the overnight every 4 hours, so you can rest and heal. I'll slow down on the media so I can change a diaper. You know what I'm saying? I can play with the baby, etc. Yeah, I feel like compromising is needed in what you're supposed to do without holding it over someone's head. You know what I'm saying? Because even though it was my choice, I still feel like it was a compromise to be the one to leave the job so we can be with baby full time. That's always been my dream. You know, sidebar. Like that was always the goal when I was a young kid. I was like, I want to have my career straight. Everyone, I want to have my career straight. One did this, one did this, get married, then I had the kid, and I wanted to make sure I spent all my time with my kids because my parents were working. You know, my dad retired when I was like 15, 16, you know, before I went to go live with him. My dad was always gone, truck driver, always gone, always on the road, and he's a veteran too. Vietnam vet. Yeah, salute. Vietnam vet. Thank you, brother. Yeah, shout out to you, Dad. Vietnam vet. Come visit me in Vegas sometime. So he's out there getting older, and he finally retired when I was 16. But he was gone. My mom went to college. 4 kids. Was going to college. Got her doctorants. Hey man, she also does some therapy as well.
Shout outs to Mama.
Yeah. She's also a therapist as well.
Hey, shout outs to CeeMo Mama.
Be my mom. Yeah. She always out here in Vegas.
That's beautiful.
But she be on the strip gambling, so having fun gambling though. So yeah. So I'm surprised I never brought that up, man. But
wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you, man. But it's because, you know, we out here with this life.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was. We were always with babysitters. So I was like, damn, I don't want that for Elijah. I don't want him to, if I do got to work in my career, I know I'll be busy too.
Yes.
But I want to be able just to take a week off. Be like, all right, son, let's go to your soccer games. Let's go to your football games, basketball games, whatever he's doing. Let's go to your games. And then we'll go to the water park this day. Next day after that, we'll go we'll go fishing. Yeah. And then have that. I want to be able to take the time off. And that's what I wanted to do as a goal. So now I took that and left the 9-to-5 that was making me depressed anyway, making me more depressed anyway. And I couldn't even see my son. He's out there crying with like a nanny or his mom was still on leave while I went back to work. But, you know, she's still recovering. So the nanny, you know, really don't know what to do and he wants to be with mom. So I compromise in that way so I can make sure that, you know, everyone's good.
That's right, man. And, you know, coming to a conclusion on the show, I just want to say, like, you know, everything you spoke volumes today. And, you know, a lot of people that's going to tune in is going to see, like, you know, this is just how it's supposed to be. A discussion between men who are also in fatherhood, trying to find ourselves in the midst of fatherhood, individuality, building relationships, and networking and working and finding it. There's a lot that we have to balance as men just as much as women do too. You know, and it's like we that's why it's important that we address certain things. We just communicate so we don't have to burden ourselves with loads Even with the assumptions, assumptions put an extra, it puts on extra weight for you to where it's like, it's getting heavier here. And it's like, don't make the assumptions. Let's communicate and let's free up some of that weight. Let's take some of those chips off the shoulders so we can, get our mental right, so we can remember our focus in life,
Yeah.
Remember what we're on.
1000%.
We're on a journey, don't let that stumble on your path stop you, get back up.
Yeah.
So.
And I know that you are the perfect, I'm not saying this just because we're talking about the subject today, but bro, like you are the perfect example with your relationship of the way to go about fruitful relationships, I should say. I'm not going to tell anybody like what to do if they decide to have kids, marrying somebody 2 years later, fine. Some people that works out. They're like, I knew this was the one, and I've been them for 20 years and got them pregnant second month. I met like that. Some people work out. It works out like that. But y'all had fun. Y'all went to school. Y'all grind. Y'all had fun before baby Kasai was here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all did the thing.
And so now he came up and he said, I'm about to turn the party up times 10. Like, it's time to get lit, y'all. I'm here. So yes, man, like if anybody say their relationship is perfect, I'm gonna say it for you're a damn lie. You know what I'm saying? It's no such thing. But the thing is, though, is that we can always come to a common ground and make it functional.
Talk your boundaries ASAP.
Have that conversation. And sometimes that conversation is uncomfortable, but when you have that conversation, then you stepped out of the comfort zone of being too comfortable with the same behavioral patterns and same thought patterns that you had for a long time now. Now you're able to challenge that and be like, okay, it's time for me to communicate. It's time for me to learn. Yeah. So thank you, brother, for sharing that today, man.
You're very welcome, my man. And I didn't say this the whole way, man. I'm not perfect. I also do not communicate at times. And I also did not set my boundaries at times. Yeah. I also cross boundaries. You know what I'm saying? I want the record to be straight.
Yeah, straight up. Straight up.
Yeah. Also, on me, man. I'm not saying I did crazy things. I'm just saying at times I was out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? Gotta watch what you say.
Yes, you do, man. Words hold value, man.
But thank you, bro, for having me.
Of course, brother. Now I'm gonna have you pick 2 cards, man.
Oh, it worked.
It did.
Yes. Yeah. That's the card of the day. We were hoping that it spins.
That was the goal.
And falls out.
Been working on that for a minute.
Okay, so what am I gonna do with this?
So what you're gonna do is it's a segment called Things Left Unsaid. You can get one more from the
You sure?
Yeah, positive. What you're gonna do is you're gonna read it to the people and you just gonna answer it. How you answer it.
All right, let's see. Well, I want to get some of your perspective too.
I'll pick a card, yeah.
Well, one of them you asked me, you said, how does COVID-19 affect you? We went through this already. Let's pick another.
Yeah, let's get you another one.
Yeah.
Go ahead, get you one.
Awesome.
Yeah, well, that's crazy. We was just talking about that. Let's see. That's your card, man. You keep that.
Okay, appreciate that, my man.
All right, go ahead, read something.
Well, the first one's cool. How do you cope with stress? Yeah, how cope with stress? No, I'm just playing. I've been playing too much. You know what I'm saying? That's how I cope. Okay, so for real, I cope with stress during the daytime. Cope with stress, basically, you know what I'm saying? Just actually taking a moment to just like breathe. Some people forget to breathe. Just take a deep breath and exhale and kind of stare off into space, because if your mind's constantly running, you're on your phone, you're seeing text messages, seeing negative things on social media. Oh yeah, you're just fucked up. So I take a moment from that. I breathe. I do puff every now and then. Just to kind of numb the stress while I'm breathing. Also too, take up a hobby or a practice. My practice, Iaido, really, 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 really makes me feel better afterwards. It really, go to the gym, run around the block. Many ways to cope with stress. That's how I do it.
All right. And then read the last one. That was good.
What does it say? What is a childhood experience to change you forever?
What?
Shit.
Don't ask me. This thing's left unsaid, brother. This is for you.
What is a childhood experience that changed you forever? Damn, there's a lot of them. A childhood experience. Oh man. We're gonna talk about the entertainment industry side. Yeah, I was mentally a child back then. I forgot how old was I? But, okay, so basically, an experience that changed me forever was I was younger, man, and I didn't have the confidence. I like this confidence that certain people see me, or when I'm on this microphone, this confidence comes out naturally, but it wasn't like that. I was super shy kid. So whenever I lost opportunities just because I didn't speak up, that's what changed me as a kid. I was like, damn, man, I should have just said something, or I should have just introduced myself, or I should have just gave my business card, and look where I could have been. Man, yeah, child experience, I'll give a good example. Uh Wait, okay, there's two. Real quick. I know we're about to go, bro.
Yeah.
And I want you to answer yours.
I'm not rushing you, brother. Do you?
But I want you to answer the same one that I'm answering. Thank you. Yeah, we almost there. I want you to answer this too, though. I want you, and then answer your card too. So here's one. Oh man, I was I had an old homie, man, who we kind of just rekindled after some fallouts. But old homie, he was Ty Dolla $ign's stepbrother because his mom married Ty Dolla $ign's daddy. So for a quick minute, we got this quick leverage. So we got access to a 420 show in Orange County, full at all access. All access. We just had to say our names, and we got backstage with Mustard, G-Eazy, XYZ, and the show was happening, and Little Uzi Vert was about to come out, but it's when he had his first single. What you want? Tell me what you want. He was brand new. And I didn't even know I bumped into dude, and I was like, oh, he got the microphone. I was like, oh, okay, you about to go out there? It was like, yeah, man. I was like, all right, man, good luck. I thought you know what I'm saying? And that missed opportunity is I should have said, well, my name is CeeMo. I'm a rapper too. Since you about to go up before the headliner, man, let's link up. Give me your social, give me your number. Lil Uzi Vert is now one of the biggest artists in the world. Wow. And I literally shook this dude's hand when he was coming up and just walked away. Wow. And just walked away. So I like imagine that connection.
Yeah.
You know, it could have blossomed into something more, but you know, I don't do the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. It just it's changed my life to be more forward.
Yes.
Yeah, and look where we're at now.
All right. And pass me that card so I can answer that for you real quick.
Yes, childhood.
What is a childhood experience that changed you forever, CARIGA? All right. Well, going to my first funeral, which was someone my mom truly loved, which was her grandmother, my great grandma. We sat in the back of the funeral, me and my sister, and my mom had to sit there because she didn't want us to sit too close to the casket. And remind you, I've never seen my mama cry like this. Mm-hmm. So this was new to me. Remind you, I'm 4 or 5 years old. So this is new to me. I'm still trying to learn planet Earth. Remind you this.
True.
So I see my mom crying, breaking down, and she's like trying to also console me and my sister, which we were both not really aware of what's really going on, but we feel mama's energy. Right. And I see my dad trying to keep my mom at, so he's holding her and walking her up. And then when they opened the casket, I saw a body laying there, and it was my great grandmother and my mom going over there, kissing her forehead, holding her hand, saying her prayers and laying out her cries. And while I was just witnessing that, it just clicked to me like death is a real thing. Just didn't know what it was called, just didn't know what it was. It was a taboo topic because my mom didn't want to open that door. She wasn't aware if she talked about death with her young kids, well, how would that have an impact on us? But believe it or not, that did, man. Wow. And I would say that's one out of many, but
because you figured out how life could end. Yeah. You're not gonna be a kid forever, you're not gonna be here forever.
Yeah. And the last question I got right here. Complete the sentence. All right. This one says, I hope ... Well,
what do you hope for?
I hope I continue being a better version of myself. That is my hope. I just hope to continue being a better version of myself. Not dwelling on the past, not being too anxious for the future, but embracing the present and embracing the journey. Okay. So beautiful. I hope to continue being a better version of myself. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
You're the first one to give me some questions, man. This is what it's all about. This is what I need, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, man.
But
thank you for having me.
Of course, brother. And please let everybody know where they can find you and give your shout outs.
Yeah. Find me at First Pick CEE, personal, Twitter, Instagram. Twitter, Instagram. At MOEX Media is the media brand on Twitter and Instagram. You can go ahead and find me right away. That's Mo Media. I want to give a shout out. Oh man, I don't give shout outs. It's gonna be the same people I always shout out. You know what I'm saying? Give a big shout out to son Elijah, to Pratella. A big shout out to mom and dad. You know what I'm saying? Even though I talked about today, still learned a lesson from it all. You know what I'm saying? And nowadays we can just chalk it up to it. Nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a great relationship with both of them. And yeah, man, big shouts out to Room Service Radio holding it down. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't be at this platform. Big shout out to IC Jones, man. I wouldn't be on this platform without linking up with IC Jones and being forward to say, yo, I want to come on your show. I want to get my song played. I'm coming over. And I'm here now because I was forward.
Shout out to IC Jones, man.
Yeah, shout out to IC Jones, man. What up, GMB and all the camp over there, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to camp.
Yeah, so, now it was a trickling effect, kids, and that's how you can leverage yourself if you just put yourself out there.
Amen. Thank you, brother, man. And today y'all had seen and heard some great underlying perspectives from both parties, man. I do appreciate you tuning in, tapping in with your boy to discuss, what seems to be a heavy topic, but a necessary topic, Mm-hmm. So thank you guys for tuning in to Underlying Perceptions, where we expose the catalyst for personal growth. And y'all know the mantra, be real, not perfect. Stay blessed, everybody.
This the filler episode, but it won't be boring. I brought my assassin to help me kill this time like a Kame and a night raid homies. Shredding cheddar, cause my cheese greater, looking better, cause my lens cleaner, smile more, cause my thoughts many. You smoke loud with my loudspeaker. Compete with me, now you dead wrong. Beats to the head like his headphones. Took a double take, cause she read wrong. But I felt trapped cause I had strong. Yeah, that head strong. I won't last long. Proved y'all all wrong. She like to get high, like to watch her euphoria. Rounds 1, 2, 3, of course she come for about 5, 6, 7, I'm the man. Only few at 8, 9, 10. Took a number, then quadrupled it. Hit a hole like whoa. Can't outsmart Dr. Stone. Got hand signs for them clones. My dirt village is gold. I spray a chakra code. Shit, I don't need no bros. Go to war alone. Yeah. I don't need nobody, nigga. Take your whole clan out like a Tachi and leave only your bitch. Time like Crunchyroll, never fold like a miso roll. I'm back like I can't die, little nigga, but I'm boss like Meliodas. My full counter, that's Armstrong. So ride, I can't do wrong. Keep asking God like how long? My bottle wrist, but no time on. How you really figure? What? We the fire force, but the he's the real kicker. What? Crown Royal Chris, I ain't talking about the liquor. Night raid assassins, only CeeMo and CERIGA. I get act like I'm Demon Slayer, my girl next co-risk taker. You get a shot in a clip later. I hate my friends, but I love haters. Fucked up, cup half full, my head gone. Niggas log off when I sign on. In the mirror, that's who I count on. I'm like Black Goku meets Black Mob. Yeah, I'm back on. Put my back on. Yeah, proved y'all all wrong. She like to get high, like to watch her euphoria. Rounds 1, 2, 3, of course she come for about 5, 6, 7, I'm the man. Only few at 8, 9, 10. Took a number, then quadrupled it.
My enemies got a power reading of 200. These niggas more like Yamcha, watch them do nothing. Fuse with my brother CeeMo, it's a new coming. Hit him with the Kamehameha, I'ma move something. Kill switch, now I'm changing the flow. Watch out, cause CERIGA the GOAT. They ain't ready, it's a different remote. Hit him with the spirit bomb and explode. Boom. Yeah, digging what I'm saying? Yeah. Light up everything around you like Super Saiyan. You ain't ready for the round to move out the way then. Bitch, I'm heavy off the Senzus, we gon' slay them. This isn't Budokai 2, who you playing? Your crew's full of Krillins too, nigga, who you phasing? I ain't a killer, but I'll shoot a man. Arms pointing like the fusion dance. When the full moon approach, you gon' see me go gorilla then. Now tell me who gorilla then? CERIGA miss? Nobody can. Came through like Kid Buu, it took the whole world to come stop a man. I ain't a killer, but I'll shoot a man. Arms pointing like the fusion dance. When the full moon approach, you gon' see me go gorilla then. Now tell me who gorilla then? CERIGA miss? Nobody can. Came through like Kid Buu, it took the whole world to come stop a man.
She like to get high, like to watch her euphoria. Rounds 1, 2, 3, of course she come for about 5, 6, 7, I'm the man. Only few at 8, 9, 10. Took a number, then quadrupled it. That's quadruple.